Yo, welcome to the Onrea Initiative Podcast. I'm Brian Onrea, your host. I am so honored that you're listening to this podcast or you're watching this podcast. I'm just honored and humbled that you're tuning in. This is episode number 10. That's right, episode number 10, man. We 12 days in of the year, and this is our 10th episode, so I'm excited about that. Again, thank you very much for watching. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Brian Onrea. It helps me out a lot. Make some comments if the podcast is, something that you are enjoying. Make a positive comment. Make sure you sign up on whatever podcast app you listen to this podcast on, whether it be iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Public Radio Public, wherever you listen to this podcast. Please follow me, subscribe to me, and make positive comments. You know what I'm saying? I really want to know your feedback, and I'll respond back to all of them. I promise. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want to encourage you all to take initiative. The name of this podcast is called the Onrea Initiative Podcast. One thing that I took initiative to do today was to reset my fitness, reset my exercising. Resetting is very important because sometimes when you have a plan and your plan is going awry, your plan is not working out like it's supposed to work out, you got to reset and start over. And that's one thing I did today with my fitness. I dropped my daughter off at school, and I wasn't planning on it, but I was riding past the gym, and I keep a gym bag in my trunk with workout shoes and workout clothes. So I just parked my car and just decided to go ahead and reset. I love resetting in the morning, and I love resetting, just to kind of start things over again. So I did that, man. And my message, I even put a little YouTube short out. My message was start over as many times as you need to. Again, resetting and starting over is important. But sometimes we get so caught up in the fact that we failed in the first place that we discourage from starting over. No, start over as many times as you need to. I don't care how many times you failed. You never know which may be the time that you succeed. Because if you don't quit, one of these times you are going to succeed. So, the saying goes, one day or day one, you decide. One of my favorite sayings. And I don't care how many day ones you need. I don't care if you need 1,000,000 day ones. I don't care if every week you start over. Just don't quit and try to learn something from when you fail. You know what I'm saying? So I started over today. And one thing that kind of helps you with that is to stop comparing yourself. At the beginning of the year, a lot of folks take fitness journeys, and some folks get after it, and some folks don't have to start over. Some folks stick with it and they show their results, and you get discouraged by looking at somebody else. Don't do that, man. You don't know what kind of insecurities and things they're going through. So just clap for other people, but don't let other people discourage you. And for some of us, in order to do that, we may have to log off social media altogether, because some of us can't help but to compare ourselves and can't help but to look at other people and what they're doing in their journeys. If that's the case, yeah, just go ahead and log out, buddy, if you have to. But don't compare yourself to other people, man. You know what I'm saying? Compare yourself with yourself. Compare yourself to the person that you were yesterday, last month, last year, last decade. You know what I'm saying? Compete against yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's you versus you, not you versus nobody else. Everyone has their own individual journey. And while you can clap for everyone and support everyone, don't judge yourself by everyone. Let everybody have their own race and their own journey. You know what I'm saying? And we can all win together. I'm going to say that again. We can all win together. Somebody else succeeding is not a threat to you, because you were made a unique individual. You have unique gifts and talents, and nobody can be you like you. You will always come in first place in the contest of being yourself. Always. There's no other you. You're a unique person, so just be you. You know what I'm saying? Now that I got that positive, inspirational message out the way, let's talk about some new music, man. It is Friday, New Music Friday. I want to highlight all the new music that I like on every Friday. You know what I'm saying? So it is Friday. Let's get started, man. 21 Savage, American Dream album came out today. Now, the cool thing about this rollout, I think about less than a week ago, 21 Savage announced that the American Dream album would also come with a movie. There's a movie called American Dream that stars Donald Glover playing him, and the kid from Stranger Things, McLaughlin. I don't want to say his name wrong, but he's playing the younger version of 21 Savage. It's supposed to be a movie, and 21 Savage has a cool story. He came over here from London, I think in middle school or elementary school, and he never got citizenship all these years. Until him being an adult. And he was actually detained by the immigration folks. he was put in like the immigration jail for a while, for several months, I believe, a few years back, and he fought to get his citizenship. And I don't know if he has his citizenship yet, but he's on the pathway to get his citizenship. He's in good standing now. Uh, so I guess that movie is chronicling his whole life, called The American Dream. So that's dope. That's coming out July the 4th, Independence Day, right? And this album was supposed to be like a soundtrack to that. So he released it today. I think it's a dope album. I enjoyed this album. My daughter and I played the album on the way to school this morning. And yeah, my daughter's a teenager now, so I can play mature albums for her and show her the real, because she's going to hear it anyway. So we listened to this album, The American Dream. It's a dope album. Some of the producers on this album, Metro Boomin, of course, Cardo, Johnny Giuliano, Spliff Sinatra, London on the Track, Bugs the Beast, O.G. Parker, Honorable C-Note, and others as well on this album. My favorite songs on the album, All of Me, dope record. That's the record where they had that nice, that sample from that, what record is that? I'm Wishing on a Star. They sampled that dope record produced by Spliff Sinatra. Spiff Sinatra. Let me say that right. Spiff Sinatra. Red Rum, another dope record. Red Rum, produced by London on the Track. Letter to My Brother. And I'm only assuming that's to Young Thug, because he's talking about in that song about just, you being in jail, people snitching on you, and you trying to hold it down for your family. Dope record. I'm assuming it's about Young Thug, but y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. The producers on that track is KVXI. I don't know how to pronounce it. KV or KVXI. Lil Ty, TYH, and Go6 Beats. Forgive me for pronouncing y'all name wrong, but y'all got a dope record, man. Shout out to y'all. Letter to My Brother. And then See the Real, produced by O.G. Parker, 10 Rock, and Smash. That's a dope record. Those are my favorite four. All the records are dope, but those are my favorite four on the album. Real dope album, man, from front to back. 21 Savage's, talking the same talk, which is kind of my only criticism of the album. My daughter and I, we both pointed this out when we was listening to it this morning. A dope album, but the subject matter could have a little more depth to it. He's talking about having sex with a lot of women, a lot of dudes' girlfriends he's having a lot of sex with, and shooting people, killing people, And again, I don't have no problem with the mature music, the subject matter, the violence, because it's all entertainment. It's not real. I love horror movies. I love action movies. All of that has killing and death in it and sex in it. So my music is no different. It's just entertainment. It's not real. And I don't think you should hold rappers to the standard that they got to live their records, that they got to live this gangster life. They're just rapping about it. They don't got to be this way in real life. It's just entertainment. So I support that. I have no problem with the subject matter, but I would have liked to just see a little more depth. You're going to kill jokers in every song. You're going to have sex with random women in every song, And it is a little bit of deeper subject matter, but could use more. It's not enough for me, not enough depth. But it's a dope album, though. It's a dope album, you know what I'm saying? Real dope album, so check it out. Let me know what y'all think about it. Another album I checked out was the Book of Clarence soundtrack. The Book of Clarence is a movie written and directed by James Samuel, a guy from the UK. He made this movie that's coming out today as well that I really want to see, so I can do a movie review on. The movie looks really, really good, but the soundtrack, James Samuel not only wrote and directed the movie, he actually produced the entire soundtrack album. It's actually his album. He's producing, he's singing on the album, got a lot of features on the album. Now, I told you all about this anticipated song with D'Angelo and Jay-Z that was 9 minutes, right? That song came out. It's a cool record, but I'm disappointed because Jay-Z, they hyped it up. They should have told us Jay-Z wasn't rapping. He's like doing spoken word on the song. And, I think the anticipation of it just made me be disappointed by the song. The song is okay. It ain't spectacular. I love D'Angelo too, and he doing his thing on it, but honestly, I think the song could have been better. However, this soundtrack has a couple dope standout songs on there. One of the songs is Hallelujah Heaven, with Lil Wayne is on there, and some other Shabba Ranks is on there too. They both kill it, very, very dope record. Lil Wayne is flowing his butt off like he always does. Shabba Ranks is doing this thing on the album, on the song. It's real dope. And I ain't heard Shabba in a long time. Shabba! I grew up on Shabba Ranks, man, and I love that song. The other song was a song called Jesus. Jeezu, Jeezu in all capital letters. Kodak Black and Doja Cat both go off on the record. Now, I've always been a fan of Kodak Black. I've always been a Kodak Black fan. I thought Kodak Black has dope lyrics. He mumbles a lot, so you can't really understand his lyrics sometimes. But if you listen close, he's actually spitting some real dope bars in a lot of his music. And on this record, he goes off, man. And you talk about depth. He's talking about his struggles, and it's ironic. It's ironic because Kodak Black is locked up right now. He's in jail right now. And he's talking about on his verse going back and forth to jail and struggling, trying to get his life together. So it's kind of like, life imitating art and art imitating life. So it's a real dope record. And then Doja Cat comes on here. And as you know, if anybody pays attention, Doja Cat is a pop artist, but she can really, when she wants to, she can rap her butt off. She can rap toe to toe with any rapper, especially female rapper. I think Nicki Minaj is the GOAT female rapper, but Doja Cat can rap right up there with her, bar for bar, and she goes off on this song. And she talks about, some of the struggles of having success and how she works hard and how she gets hated on and all that. Some of the hate is self-inflicted, but she speaks to that and she goes off. So that song is called Jeezu or Jeezu. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but that song is crazy, man. So the soundtrack overall, it's all right. I'm not really into a lot of the singing and stuff on there, man. It's cool, but those two particular records really, really stand out for me, man. So check out the Book of Clarence soundtrack. Let me know what you think about the soundtrack, man. Also releasing music is Benny the Butcher. He put out a single. His album, Everybody Can't Go, comes out, I think, in a couple of weeks. And the album is executive produced by Hit Boy, as I mentioned in the previous episode. He put out the first single from that called Bron. And it's an homage to LeBron James. And he's rapping about himself, comparing himself to how great he is, to how great LeBron James is. And the record overall, it's a cool record. It's a dope record. I don't think it's worthy enough to be the first single, unless he's coming back with a second single. Because the record is cool. It's like a pure hip-hop, boom-bap kind of record. But even with that, it could have picked a better record to come out with. But I will put a caveat to it. This reminds me of when Hit Boy and Nas announced the very first King's Disease album, and they came out with Ultra Black as the first single. Now, I think Ultra Black is a better record than Bron, but it kind of gave you the same feel. It was a dope record, but it was like you expected them to come out with something better for the first single. But when the album came out a few days later, shortly thereafter, the album, if you put Ultra Black in the context of the whole King's Disease album, it's an amazing song. The sequencing of that is amazing. So I'm thinking, Bron, this song would sound better around like a body of work. So while I wouldn't have necessarily made this the first single, that don't mean the album gonna be bad. Because the song is a dope song. I think it's just gonna sound better if you surround it with other dope production. And we'll have to see. So go check out Benny the Butcher, Bron, you know what I'm saying? So it is a dope record, you know what I'm saying? So that's my only little criticism of that, you know what I'm saying? That's my music for the week, my new music for the week. I know other stuff came out, but I haven't checked it out. You know what I'm saying? I only talk about, when I do music reviews, I only talk about what I like, number one. And number two, what I've listened to. So I haven't listened to some of the other albums that came out, but those are the albums that I really, really wanted to dig into, albums and singles. And that's what I rock with. But am I missing something? You let me know in the comments, what you think, you know what I'm saying? But that's my music, the new music releases for January the 12th. I'm rating this the podcast. Let's get right. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into some sports talk, man. We reported that the New England Patriots, or did I report this? I might not have reported this yesterday. I think the news didn't come out yet. But the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick are mutually agreeing to part ways. So Bill Belichick is out as the head coach. And then they announced this morning that they already got a replacement. Gerard Mayo is hired as new Patriots coach, a black man, you know what I'm saying? And that's important because the last few years there's been all this controversy about black head coaches getting opportunities, you know what I'm saying? And it's a mostly black sport, so you should see more black head coaches in positions. And not only in positions, but in good positions to win. This story is interesting. Gerard Mayo played for Bill Belichick for many years. I think he retired in 2014, 2015. And he came back as an assistant in 2019. I think it was the linebackers coach. But he was so well liked, and he was doing such a good job at his position that other teams had interviewed him for their head coaching jobs. But then last year, New England said, you know what? No, we're going to keep you. You're going to be the successor. So they pretty much internally set him aside as the successor to Bill Belichick. But they expected to do it after the 2024 season. They weren't supposed to do it this early. But I guess with the way the team went this year, they decided to make him the head coach early. So shout out to Gerard Mayo. You know what I'm saying? He played linebacker for the Patriots for many years. He's a linebacker coach. I'm rooting for him. You know, hopefully they find a quarterback. That's the big thing, man. You need a quarterback in this league. And I guess Mac Jones, I guess they gave up on Mac Jones. And other kid, Zap, I'm sorry for pronouncing your name wrong, my brother. The other quarterback, I don't think he's the answer either. So they got to find a quarterback in New England. But shout out to Gerard Mayo. There's a lot of head coaching vacancies still open, man. And it's funny because by the time you hear this, other ones might be filled. But the most attractive one is the San Diego job because they got a quarterback. They got Justin Herbert, who's a great quarterback, and he's already in place. So everybody wants that job. I know Pete Carroll apparently still wants to coach after he got fired by the Seahawks. That'll be a home run because Pete Carroll had a lot of success at USC as a college football coach, and they love him in LA. That'll be a good hire, but who knows, man? That's a good job. The Raiders, you know, Antonio Pierce, I don't know what they're waiting on. They ought to hire him. You know what I'm saying? He was the interim coach. He, in my opinion, did well. Hire that man. Who else? I think the Bears got an opening, I believe. Or I don't know. I think the Bears, do they have an opening? I'm not sure. But I know there's some other openings around the league, man. And I know that Harbaugh name keep coming up. You know what I'm saying? I know they got a head coaching vacancy over there in Carolina. That's one. You know, among the others. But I just hope Harbaugh stays in Michigan, and we'll see how everything shakes out. Mike Vrabel, Tennessee's job is open, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So shout out to all the coaches, man. Hopefully they get it right, and shout out for the playoffs this weekend. I gave my predictions already on who's gonna win these games this weekend. I know the Lions better beat the brakes off of the Rams Sunday night, or else I'm gonna be pretty mad on Monday morning, Martin Luther King Day, man. So yeah, we'll see. Real quick, man, I saw this whole thing in Chicago. If I was really interesting, you know, a lot of teams are doing this whole Ring of Honor thing where they honor like players who were really dope for their organization. You know what I'm saying? I hope all the Detroit organizations do one. We might have one in the Pistons, I think. I'm not sure. But the Bulls are starting a Ring of Honor. You know what I'm saying? Where they honor the top players. In this first class, they got Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan, Jerry Krause, Tony Kukoc, Dennis Rodman, and Scottie Pippen. And everybody was wondering when they announced it, was Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen going to be in the same room? Because Scottie Pippen has been throwing a lot of salt on Michael Jordan's name. You know what I'm saying? He was mad about how the Last Dance came out, how Michael Jordan made him seem, you know, weak for getting that surgery during the season, during the Last Dance. So Pippen been going off on Michael Jordan, and their friendship has been really fractured. Then Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, who still keeps the name Pippen, by the way, is about to get married to Michael Jordan's son. Michael Jordan's son is dating his wife. Oh my gosh, it's crazy, right? So it's a lot going on. So tonight, on January the 12th, the Bulls have a game, and they're going to do at halftime the Ring of Honor ceremony, and everybody wonders who's going to show up. Well, Michael Jordan already put out a video out. He released a video today through the Chicago Bulls saying he's not going to be there, you know. And it's funny because he's sitting in the room with all these trophies, you know. It's a dope looking room. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm sorry, but, you know, I ain't going to be there tonight, but I wish y'all the best, all the guys the best. But it's like, you know, what you mean you can't be there? You know, you knew about it ahead of time. You're in the trophy. How come you can't be there? And they're speculating that it's because, you know, of the whole thing with Scottie Pippen. And if you watch The Last Dance, things didn't end too well with Michael Jordan in Chicago. Michael Jordan ended up going to the Washington Wizards to finish his career. That lets you know how things didn't go well in Chicago. So him and the organization still got a little bit of beef. But yeah, he ain't coming back for the ceremony. He sent in the video. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see if Scottie come tonight, you know, and Dennis Rodman and how that plays out. So we'll keep our eyes on that, man. The Ring of Honor thing going on in Chicago, man. thought I had more to cover today. That might be about it, man, for the Onrea Initiative podcast. A little bit of sports, man. I saw last night the Milwaukee Bucks blew out the Celtics. Now, the Celtics still haven't lost a home game. That's still a real big deal. And Milwaukee blew them out in Milwaukee. And I think that once Milwaukee, Giannis and Dame Lillard and Middleton get their big three together, they're going to be pretty dangerous. The coach had me a little bit worried for a while. The coach, Terry Stotts, quit the team as the offensive mind, quit the team because I guess the coach embarrassed him in front of the team, yelled at him, they got into it, he quit. So offensively, they seem a little shaky. Like they don't know what they're doing. They had a lot of, shaky moments this year, but that was a big win last night. And I think that once Milwaukee get it together, it's going to be between Milwaukee and Boston for the East. In the West, I'm not sure because it just depends how things shake out. I know the Clippers playing real well. Minnesota have been playing good. The Lakers are looking real bad right now. I think Phoenix blew them out last night. Darvin Ham is still in the hot seat. So the Lakers are shaky. The Mavs look good. The Mavs won a big game last night against the Knicks without Luka. Kyrie went off. And of course, you got the defending champion Nuggets still up there. So the West is still a little shaky. I'm not sure who's going to be coming out the West, but I'm telling you, Milwaukee and Boston got the East sold up. And pray for my Pistons, man. We still getting our butts kicked every night. Cade Cunningham is out for a couple weeks with a knee injury. So we'll see, man. But anyway, man, that's my sports update, man. That's my Onrea Initiative update, man. God bless y'all. Have a good Martin Luther King weekend. I'm all about equality, man, and racial justice. Everybody getting along. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, everybody getting along. Native American, we all in this together, man. And that's what Martin Luther King stood for, if you ask me, about people being alongside of each other. Not all this division. There's so much division going on, man. Black against white, Asian against black and white, Hispanic against black. We should all rock with each other, man. I don't care. People, if you date outside your race, it's bad for interracial relationships. I'm all about people being together, man, in all ways, shapes, and forms. Let's promote unity. As this podcast grows, you're going to see I'm all about unity. I'm not with that division. I'm not with that bickering and backbiting. I'm all about unity and staying together. So this weekend, let's celebrate unity in this country. Don't deny the past. The past was ugly. We should always look back on the past. Don't erase the past. Don't take out slavery out of textbooks. It's okay to make slavery movies. It's okay to look back on the past so that we know what we don't want to be in the future. You know what I'm saying? But I'm all about unity amongst races and ethnicities, man. With that, I love y'all. This has been the Onrea Initiative episode. This has been the Onrea Initiative podcast, episode 10. God bless.